2.5. Punchboard. A punchboard is an incredible versatile component that can be utilized to create a multitude of items such as tokens, tiles, trackers, and dials. It can be single layer, dual layer, or even fit together to create a constructible cardboard component. As a result, the punchboard is one of the most difficult print components to create. In addition to following all the regular rules relating to any print piece, please be careful when planning the token layout and pay attention to special die line, bleed, and margin requirements. 2.5.1. Punchboard size. To comfortably fit in the box, the size of the punchboard should be at least 15 millimeters smaller in each dimension than the box top. Example, a 200 millimeter and 250 millimeter box can hold a punchboard of 185 millimeter by 235 millimeter. 2.5.2. Individual token sizing. The smallest token size LongPack can produce is approximately 8 millimeter by 8 millimeter, and the smallest edge in any unique shape must be at least 3 millimeter long. Due to the physical result of the punching process, the front side of the tokens will have a slightly rounded edge. 2.5.3. Die line spacing. 1. There should always be a minimum of 6 millimeter between any die lines, either token to token or token to whole board die line. 2. Each individual punch-out token on the punch boards should have 3 millimeter of bleed outside of its die line. 3. 3 millimeter, at least 2.5 millimeter of margin between the die line and any non-background art including text and border lines. 2.5.4. Die line file. Please save your die line as a separate PDF file or as a separate layer in your art file. Die lines cannot be part of the regular art file layers. They need to be separate so that a die cut mold can be created. 2.5.5. Label and number your punch boards. It is very important to mark and number the die cut mold in case you have designs sharing the same die cut mold or die cut molds with similar die lines, so that they can easily be identified. With marks/numbers on molds, it will prevent mixing mistakes from happening in the process. Marks and numbers can be added outside the die lines, which will be discarded in final assembling and packaging. Please find mark/number on a die cut mold circled in red in the examples on the right. 2.5.6. Backside layout. Ensure that the layout of the back sheet of the punchboard artwork is a mirror image of the front of the punchboard. You can see an example of this to the right. 2.5.7. Shared die lines, cost saving. Think about efficiency when designing punchboards, as there is an added cost for each die cut mold. You can lay out your punchboard in such a way that the same die line template can be used for multiple punchboards. The die line template on the right will be more efficient. 2.6. Double layered punchboards. In some games, a double layer punchboard is a great solution. This type of punchboard is actually 2 layers of punchboards glued together. The top layer will have areas punched out that can hold cubes, discs, meeples, or other components in a certain spot on that board. Please take extra care to ensure that any images on the bottom layer line up correctly with the punched out portions at the top layer. 2.6.1. Bleed and margin. All cardboard mat files must have 3 millimeter of bleed and 3 millimeter of margin. 2.6.2. Die line spacing. Please refer to 2.5.3. 2.6.3. Die line file. Please refer to 2.5.4. 2.7. Booklets and paper sheets. Booklets, or rulebooks, are usually saddle-stitched, bound with staples. Paper sheets are single sheets that can be folded according to your specifications. Paper pads are also available. 2.7.1. Bleed and margin. All rulebook and paper sheet files must have 3 millimeter of bleed. For rulebooks, margin sizes vary depending on the number of pages. Total pages: 64 or less pages, 5 millimeter margin. 68 or more pages. Inquire about the different binding methods and templates. 2.7.2. Number of pages. The total page count must be a multiple of 4. Rule sheets can be single or double-sided. 2.7.3. File setup. Submit these as multi-page PDFs with only one page of the booklet on each page of the PDF. Do not use 2-page spreads. The production team will lay out the booklet for print with the correct page numbers. 2.7.4 Binding Types. Saddle stitch binding is by far the most common for board game rulebooks. Please contact your LongPack project manager for templates for perfect spiral and case wrap bindings. 2.8 Cards. Cards are often an integral part of tabletop games. LongPack offers a wide variety of standard card sizes to suit your game's unique needs. 2.8.1 Bleed and margin. All cards must have a 3mm of bleed and 3mm of margin. Please extend the background artwork to or past the bleed line and keep pertinent artwork in all text within the margin line. 2.8.2 File format. When submitting cards, upload the file as multi-page PDF, with the card back as the last page. If you have multiple card backs, upload a file for the card fronts and a second file for the card backs. Example: Deck A has 108 cards with a single back. The PDF for Deck A will be 109 pages in length, with the 109th page being the card back for the preceding 108 cards. Example: Deck B has 108 cards with multiple backs. There will be two PDFs for Deck B, one with the card fronts and a second file with the card backs. Please be descriptive in naming your file. 2.8.3 Border black. For a deep, consistent black border, consider using a color formula of C40, M0, Y0, K100%, so that it will be easier to color match between print runs and expansions. 2.8.4 Spot color border. If your border is a solid color, please use a PMS color, Pantone matching system, so that it will be easier to color match between print runs and expansions. Using spot color will minimize the color variance. You should avoid using such highly pigmented colors for card backs and borders such as gray, brown, purples, etc., as it is hard to achieve consistency in printing. If those colors are necessary, please design these with white borders, see figure above, as well as using a PMS color. 2.9 Special effects. To be extra fancy, LongPack can add special printing effects such as spot UV and foil stamping on many printed components. Format. Similar to Guidelines, please upload a separate PDF with the special effects areas indicated in pure black, K100%, or pure magenta, M100%. The rest of the file should be either white or transparent.